Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is January 2026, and we are here for an amazing work session. So why don't we stand and have the Pledge of Allegiance, and Councilman Kern, would you be so kind as to do that?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Kern. And well, you did a great job. Some announcements today. We would like to just again thank our highway department, and I had the opportunity to go out with Mike on Sunday night. I believe you did as well. Is that correct?
I did after the storm. So you got the beginning and I got the end.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. And from our buildings and grounds to our PD and EMS, they all did an amazing job with the storm. But we also want to make a quick announcement this morning that portions of Pulaski Street will be closed for snow removal. Osborne and Marcy Avenue up to Hamilton Avenue and Birchwood, they're actually hauling the snow away so that it can be safe, especially with the incoming light snow this weekend. So please make note of that. And today at Town Hall, there is a blood center drive, the CSEA Union and Labor Management, and they're in the lower level until 3:15 today, and you can walk right in. So if you're healthy and you have blood, which that would be two things that all of us have, go down there and give some blood. Does anyone else have an announcement that they would like to make today? Joy?
If I may, Supervisor, this past Friday, we had our red, white, and blue ball, the kickoff to America 250, and it was a huge success. We could not have asked for a better event. It was perfectly attended. Everybody had such a great time. The decorations in the room, the photos, I'm sure that people have seen them on social media. It was outstanding. We had the Meeting House Choir there. They sang some patriotic songs. Clerk Wooten, he emceed the event. A big thank you to C-Star Ballroom, C-Star, is it a ballroom? Ballroom? Yeah, okay. I thought I was getting too caught up in the ball aspect of it. Everything was great. So thank you to the committee and everybody that participated. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen moving forward to July 4th. And then some.
Absolutely. Great country, great presentation. Anybody else have anything that they want to announce this morning? So before we do that, I do want to make one more note. I wanted to end it with this. We want to congratulate and thank the Riverhead PD for the incredible police work and collaboration with the Suffolk County Arson Squad and our Fire Marshal's Office in the arrest of the individual that caused the recent fire at the pizzeria in Wading River. And when Chief Frost comes up later for something on work session, we'll make sure we thank him one more time for that. What a great job everybody did. So we want to start our open session today with our Farmland Preservation Committee matters surrounding land preservation application with Ms. WASKI and Councilwoman HURLEY, if you'd come forward. Oh, and these fine gentlemen from the Farmland Preservation Committee, come on down if you're on there. Yeah, anyone. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
morning.
Wherever you like.
You were just waiting, give them all a head start, right?
Great to see you all with the red, white, and blue ball, by the way.
Oh, I did that.
That was great.
Why don't you just go around just for the camera and introduce yourselves real fast.
Hi, my name is Jessica Murphy. I work with the Peconic Land Trust.
Ken Zolnicki, Planning Board member.
Danielle Hurley, Deputy Town Attorney and Town Attorney Liaison to the Farmland Preservation Committee.
Matthew Schmidt from Philip Schmidt Farms, Riverhead.
And Richard Wines from Jamesport. Matt and I are co-chairs of the Farmland Committee.
Thank you for being here today.
So, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here today to discuss an application that would be new to the Town of Riverhead, that with the help of Jessica from the Peconic Land Trust. This is something that happens in other towns, and through conversation we realized that we should be doing this here in Riverhead, so we'd like to present it to the board to see what your thoughts are.
Justin, if you could zoom in on the form. It's also posted online.
what's bringing us to this point is that, as you know, Riverhead, many years ago, borrowed a lot of money from future revenue from the Community Preservation Fund to buy farmland. And the town preserved about 1,000 acres of farmland as a result of that. But we've been paying off that debt ever since. And that has left us with no funds for the town to use for farmland preservation. But finally, we are at the point where money is beginning to accumulate in the Community Preservation Fund. And so the committee believes that we should be getting back into the business that we were created for 25 years ago, and that is preserving farmland. And the funding is still limited, but we can certainly work with the county. Sometimes in the past what we've done is done joint purchases where both the town and the county purchase money. Farmers are often more this is Matt Wells, by the way, another member of the committee, and happens to be the son of, I believe, the founder of the committee. His father, Lyle, was very instrumental in farmland preservation in Riverhead for many years. But anyway, as I was saying, we believe we're in a position now, in a small way at least, to start preserving farmland again using the Community Preservation Fund monies, which, as you all know, that's the 2% that purchasers pay when they buy a piece of property in Riverhead. It goes into this fund, and this is what it's designed to be used for. And that's what this form is for, so that Jessica and Danielle and others, as property owners indicate they are interested, this is the form they can fill out and indicate that, yes, they doesn't commit them to anything, but they can indicate they might be interested in selling development rights on their land. This information could also be useful, by the way, in the transfer of development rights program, because this will produce a list of property owners who are interested in selling development rights. And so if a developer, and this is going to be something near into Bob's heart, if a developer needs to buy these rights in order to do the things they're allowed to do, adding on to commercial development on Route 58 and things like that, this will provide a list of people who are interested. So we think this is an important thing to do. It doesn't commit property owners in any way, but it allows them to say they might be interested in parting with their development rights and preserving their farmland. Good.
That's correct. I also would just like to represent that I went over the CPF balance with Jeanette, and I can represent that we have about 14 million available to start spending on this. So we're excited for that, and we're hoping that this form, we're going to put it up online under Farmland Preservation, and we'll put it on the website. And it doesn't, like Richard said, doesn't commit the town, and it doesn't commit anybody to anything further than starting a conversation. And we're hopeful that the Peconic Land Trust gets a copy and hands it out to anybody that you guys come across.
Right. Often when we're in the field, I know you've worked with us before in the past, we encounter people that say, oh, I'd love to, sometimes donate my land, or I'm looking to preserve this land. I really don't want to sell it, but I'd love for the town or you to acquire it. So for Southold and Southampton, we have copies of their forms. So we'll kind of help the town facilitate in that way by, kind of linking them with the appropriate town individual to speak to. And we utilize the form as a tool to gather their information and just to pass it off to the town. So we're happy to do that for you.
Great.
Richard, is the Farm Bureau involved at all in terms of getting it out to the farmers?
Do you want to speak to that, Matt?
I haven't talked to Bill Zalkar yet, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind sending it out to their newsletter.
Yes.
Yep. We wanted to bring it to you guys first to get your stamp of approval, and then we're going to start the dissemination process.
And the other thing I would add, Richard, is anybody from this committee attending the Suffolk County Farmland Select Committee that goes on once a month, where that's what they talk about in concert with your saying about joining up, maybe partnering up with preserving some land.
That's clearly important. And Charlie Shear who's a member of the committee, happens to be out of town today, is a member of the county committee. And you've been making contact with him, and you've been making contact with our county legislator, right?
Right. And I do plan on attending the next meeting, which I was going to discuss with you to see if you would like to, or either any of you, attend with me. Very important. The county is looking at certain properties here in Riverhead to preserve, and I like to make sure that that moves forward because farmland preservation is so important to our town. So any support would be greatly appreciated.
I think it's great that there's finally money available and that hopefully we can do some of this. I think there would be interest from a number of different farmers, and I think it's good that we finally have the money available to do this. So
one other thing I'd like to put on you guys' radar, right? So the water department is looking, as you know, the land on Roanoke between Reeves and the Sandy Pond, on the east side, the county is going to preserve that land. What we tried to do, and I'd like to put this on your radar as well, okay, is the fact that the water department offered to buy, same cost, right, to buy, I think it was 4 or 5 acres, because that could be a really good site for a well, because everything right now north of Reeves Avenue, they're finding salt in the water. So when you're looking at preserving land, I would like you to think about the fact that the water department needs some places to do test wells to get fresh water.
Okay, I don't think those two would be incompatible.
No, I just want to put it on your radar, okay? Thank you.
Good. So what we're hoping is that by appearing here today, by creating this forum, by having the Peconic Land Trust involved, we will probably be directly contacting property owners who might be interested. We want to get the word out that if they are interested in doing this, there is now some funding. They should be contacting Danielle, and we can move forward. There probably will be, if the past average is anything, 7 or 8 million coming into this fund for each of the next 5 years, and at the end of 5 years, all of the debt will be paid off. So, we're trying to start the process. Not that much will probably happen in 1 year, but it's important we get back in this business of preserving farmland.
So the intention is to have this available on our website eventually, once it's given a go, hopefully. And I'm excited for this. This is a good thing. This is an excellent tool.
Thank you, each and everyone, for coming in.
Well, thank you. This is important.
Thank you, nice to see you. Excuse my outfit, I'm going on a site visit. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything.
Of course, yeah, thank you, call me whenever.
Always.
I think so. Just put it up.
All right, our second matter is a matter surrounding the overview of Duffy MX and the SEQRA with Mr. Bergman. Good morning. You want people to see that?
No, that's going to be posted on the website. That's just a copy for you. All right, so good morning, everybody. This is just a quick update on the special permit and the site plan application for the Duffy MX motocross track down at 2822 River Road, Calverton. Back in October of 2025, the town board assumed lead agency for this project and issued a positive declaration requiring the full, process of the environmental impact statement. So the applicant has submitted what's called a draft scope for the preparation of the draft environmental impact statement. That lays out the items that are going to be analyzed in the EIS. The draft scope was based on the positive declaration that the board issued. The submission of the draft scope triggers a 60-day timeline under under which the board is required to adopt a final scope at the end of that 60 days. So I'm just here to discuss the timeline and basically the procedure for the scoping process. So based on the data submission, it is incumbent upon the board to adopt a final scope by March 16th. Just based on the board's meeting schedule, we would adopt the final scope at the meeting on March 3rd. I have a resolution in the packet to schedule that the public scoping session for the draft scope. That would be held at the board's meeting on February 18th. That is a 6 p.m. afternoon meeting. I felt it was appropriate to give as many members of the public an opportunity to provide, participate in the scoping process. The scheduling of the public scoping session in no way voices any type of support, opposition. It doesn't really get into the meat and potatoes. All the scoping does is lays out the parameters and the items that are going to be studied in the EIS. So the draft scope will be posted on the planning department's website. We have a page called Environmental Review for Projects. The draft scope will be posted on that link this afternoon. The draft scope is also included as an attachment to that resolution. It's not a long document. I believe it's only like 11 pages. So the purpose of that meeting is to comment on the scope of the items to be studied. So again, just when the public comes up at the meeting, it's not I'm for or against this project. This lays out what's going to be looked at and analyzed. I will at that meeting have a staff comments for the board's consideration to be incorporated into a final scope, and then obviously we will listen to members of the public what they have to say. Substantive items will then be incorporated into a final scope, which the board would then adopt at its March 3rd meeting. So that's it. Pretty straightforward timeline.
One question, Greg, on here, the impact on noise, are they required to consult with a sound engineer on this?
So the draft scope, it's safe to assume that an applicant is going to contract with a licensed, qualified sound engineer. I'm going to, just because I'll be honest, we don't have in-house noise professionals, sound engineers. I will likely reach out to some sound consultants that the town has worked with before. Under SEQRA, we're allowed to charge the applicant for any costs that are incurred to the town. So if we need to engage with professional consultants, that's at no cost to the taxpayer, but it'll allow us to really get a thorough analysis of anything that's submitted.
I would appreciate that because it's 1,500 feet away from a daycare center.
But I will give you a name of someone that's appeared before the board in the past, I would say 4 years on 2 different projects. All right.
All right. Any other questions?
Can you just one more time let people know that are watching where they get, because you went through it just in case they.
So on the town's website, Town of Riverhead, NY.gov, the departments page at the top of the home page, you click that, it brings down the planning department. In our planning department page, we have a link, I believe it's called Environmental Review for Current Projects. We're going to post that draft scope there so it's available for public digestion.
Thank you for
All right?
letting people know. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Anything else?
Comments, questions?
Sir, good.
Thank you.
So we just need to go through that part and now have our resolutions by Deputy Supervisor Devin Higgins.
Board.
Morning, Deb.
We're ready to go? We'll get started. Resolution number 1 authorizes removal of fixed assets.
You wait 1 second. Now.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. So resolution number 2 authorizes financial administrator to establish a budget for America 250 donations. Resolution number 3, Water District Capital Project number 81855, Plant 2A, Budget Amendment. Resolution number 4, Water District Capital Project number 82602, Riverhead Mazda, 1419 Old Country Road, Budget Adoption. Number 5, Sewer District Capital Project number 82603, 840 Old Country Road, Budget Adoption. Number 6, ratifies acceptance of donation of plants from Gabrielson Farms 2025. Number
7 sets fees for Riverhead Sewer District, Calverton Sewer District, and Scavenger Waste. And we have Tim Allen, the Sewer District Superintendent, here today. He's going to just come forward and just kind of quickly review with the board the proposed changes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Ganji.
The first set of fees right now on the first page, right now the existing line is $100 for all applications. So we're going to break that down into how other towns around have it, like Village of Patchogue has it broken down this way. It gets rid of, the homeowners probably stay about the same. It's a $50 more for the homeowners application. We don't really get that many homeowners applications, more commercial stuff. So that's that. And then the line for the inspection fees, right now it's $10 and $10 application fee and 75 cents a foot. Patchogue is around $250 and $10 a foot. That kind of breaks us even with the inspector. We had a guy go up to Calverton Incubator last year. He was up there 3 times for $10. So that's what that is. And then this is a new one with the funeral homes and all. Funeral homes, dentist's office, car washes, laundromats, and dry cleaners. This is a fee that we go in and inspect, but we have no fee right now to charge them for that. So that's what that is. Just like the grease traps, we have no fee right now, and we're going to raise them up to $100. The licensing fee for scavenger right now is $250. It's been that way since 1986 or so it's time to raise them up. That's about it. And the other ones are just code changes, minor code changes. Okay.
Thank you very much. I know you guys did. Thank you.
Okay, resolution number 8, authorization for police department employees to attend a training. And the board will recall 4, I think it was 3 or 4 officers went recently, 4, so this is an additional 4 officers that will go and endure the same training, which is great. Resolution number 9 authorizes 1 police department employee to attend a training conference. Resolution number 10 establishes standard workday for elected official. Number 11 amends resolution 2026-2, sets salaries of general town employees for the year 2026. Just cleaning up a couple clerical things there. Number 12 ratifies the appointment of a maintenance mechanic 2. Number 13 appoints an assistant chief fire marshal. Number 14 appoints marriage officer James Wooten. Number 15 appoints a senior accountant. Number 16 reappoints Megan Carrick to the Town of Riverhead Architectural Review Board. Number 17 reappoints Sean McCabe Sr. as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council. Number 18 reappoints Robert Fox as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council. Number 19 reappoints Charles Thomas as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council. Number 20 reappoints Dwayne Lewin as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council. 21 reappoints George Woodhull as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council. Number 22 reappoints Robert Kioski as member of the Town of Riverhead Conservation Advisory Council.
I just want to say they're all great individuals. We're also working on readjusting the fees for that, so I know that the planning department, Matt Charters, has worked up 4 new fees to start covering the costs, but it's just a great group of individuals that it's not just about coming to meetings here, they do go on site to every project and examine it, and so it's a lot of legwork in there, so we do need to increase our fees to cover those costs. And you'll see that resolution coming up soon too.
Thanks for the update.
Okay, resolution number 23. I'm told that by planning that this may not be quite ready and may need to be pulled. I don't know if the town attorney's office has any additional information that I don't, but we'll read it anyway nonetheless. Number 23, authorizes the supervisor to issue a letter to the Suffolk County Department of Health Services authorizing the use of Pine Barrens credits originating from property located in the Town of Riverhead. Erwin Krasno.
Eric's going to come down.
Oh, Eric's going to come up. Great.
You want me to
Yes, if you can come to the table, it'd be better, so. Counselor? Morning?
Right, so this is a relatively routine request. We get these sometimes when people are before the Pine Barrens Commission. It's used to increase sanitary capacity on the site. So they seek people who have Pine Barrens credits, and so they take those sanitary credits out of the Town of Riverhead, Pine Barrens protected area, move them to another site. So this just requires a letter from the supervisor authorizing the credits to go from Riverhead to outside of Riverhead.
Yeah, we just asked Matt to make sure it's all ready to go before the meeting, so thanks.
Number 24, ratifies the authorization for the supervisor to execute an amended agreement with Assistant Recreation Superintendent 1. Resolution 25, authorizes the supervisor to execute a professional services agreement with Land Use Ecological Services, Inc. for the Meeting House Creek Bulkhead Reconstruction Project. Number 26, resolution authorizing agreement with Tan Productions, Inc. for the America 250 Town of Riverhead commemorative book. Number 27, authorizes the release of the performance bond for the major subdivision of NF Golf Resorts, LLC, a.k.a. the Highlands at Reeves.
Anybody have questions about that? On that one?
Number 28, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider local law to amend Chapter 265 entitled Sewers of the Riverhead Town Code. Number 29, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for charter buses. Number 30, authorizes issuance of a request for proposals for an administrative law judge to adjudicate stop-arm bus camera violations and delegating administration to the town attorney. 31, extends bid for census water meter and accessory equipment or reasonable equivalent and repair to meter reading equipment for Riverhead Water District. Number 32, awards bid for construction of well number 2A, Contract E, electrical construction, Contract G, general construction, Contract P, mechanical and well pump construction, Riverhead Water District. Number 33, schedules public scoping session for the special permit and site plan application of Duffy MX Motocross Track 2822 River Road, Calverton, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map number 600-136-1-4. Number 34, designates the Senior Citizen Program Director as an accountable executive in connection with the New York State Department of Transportation, NYS DOT, Transit Asset Management Plan, TAM. Number 35, authorizing submission of an application to the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, Environmental Bond Act Municipal Parks and Recreation Grant Program for Stotsky Park Lighting Replacement Project. Just a quick note on this. This will require a match of the town of something like $70,000, and I'm told at the moment that would be funded from the, as it says here in the third whereas, the park and rec fees, but as the councilman can attest, we want to just, of course, give the park and rec committee the opportunity to participate in that dialogue.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I would like to see everything coming out of code that is written, that goes to the appropriate committees the way it's been done for the last 25 years, but thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, great. Okay.
You can come back up to the table there, it's a little easier. I like that better. Appreciate that closeness.
Yeah, so when code revision prepares code amendments, we typically bring those to the town board first, and then the town board will make a referral to the appropriate advisory committee, and then the advisory committee would report back to the town board. And then any changes that come from that can be brought back to whoever authored the code revision.
So what you're saying, which is different than what the practice has been, is that the town board would have to agree that on this particular resolution that it goes to the rec committee.
No, so when we bring the code revision, the proposed code revision to like a work session to discuss it before we bring it to a public hearing, the town board would then discuss. And then if anyone believes it should go to a particular advisory committee under the town board's adopted rules, you would make that referral. And then they would have to consider it at their next advisory committee meeting and then report back to the town board.
Yeah, but
Why is the resolution already in? Are they having a meeting between now and our next?
Which resolution is this?
This is to match $70,000, so.
This is for a grant, but it would require a match.
They may deny it.
So
you
if
know.
they're against it, why are we putting the resolution? And I understand they're an advisory committee, but
a great
why the resolution in before they're even having a chance to discuss it?
Okay, well, this isn't a code. I thought we were talking about code revisions.
Right, this is just a grant.
That's a grant, but, and I'm gonna, Eric,
Do they meet between now and the next board meeting, Bob? They just had a meeting, didn't they?
you know what, I have to look, I don't know the schedule, but I'm going to, yeah, this is for a grant.
We can pull it from the packet
Yeah.
until they have time to do it, so it's no problem. So,
Probably.
good. So just,
I mean, with respect to grants, yeah, the town board can refer anything that it has before it to the appropriate advisory committee, so.
Except if the resolution is already in without even discussing it with the Park and Rec committee, I don't think that would be appropriate. They should at least get to weigh in on it. If there's no support, we're moving something ahead, which gives the public perception that we're proceeding with something that they may not be supportive. I understand they're an advisory committee and we can, take the advice or not, but still.
Yeah, well, basically, the resolution is now submitted, so the town board is seeing it for the first time, and if you're reviewing it and you are inclined to refer it, you can refer it either by action at the town board meeting and table the resolution, or you could, direct that referral now.
Yeah, and to your point, whether it's a grant or whether it's code, the people on these committees have expertise that none of us have, and I'll use the rec committee as an example. They are maniacally focused on where the rec fees go, right? So they, I would definitely, I agree with the supervisor, just pull it and let them review it.
Right, and, there's probably input that the recreation superintendent has on it too.
Oh, absolutely, he's part of the committee.
Okay.
thanks, Eric.
Here, you,
Would you like me to speak to this?
Oh, sure, Liz, come on up.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So there are actually two resolutions in for the same grant funding opportunity. So what we're looking at here is for lighting for fields 1 and 2, which is the #1 project on our engineering project list that has been discussed.
I think they're gonna support it, but I'm not gonna make assumptions.
It's also coming from raised capital reserve budget for park improvements. So I have a commitment letter from him that we were.
From Ray?
Yeah,
Okay.
to
So
submit.
it's coming out of his budget, not Park and Rec fees?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so there's a miscommunication, because they're saying
Yeah,
that
I
the
thought
Park
it
and
was
Rec
Park and
fees
Rec.
is
No, so-
from development projects.
So this is through the Municipal Parks and Recreation Grant
So
through.
then it's just worded wrong here. It says, with a match to be funded from the Riverhead Park and Recreation fees, so that needs to be changed.
No,
That's okay.
it's okay. I know it's, I was out and this resolution was submitted by a coworker and maybe I
No problem.
conveyed where it was coming from differently.
Yeah, no problem at all. That's why we're here.
But yeah, I just
Let's
wanted to
go.
clear that up,
Thank you.
that, and we are always in contact with the Parks and Rec Committee. And that's why we were trying to balance out both of these projects, because one is downtown, one is the parks, and they're both good funding opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll just make sure, we'll get that wording changed and we'll make sure they get to see it. I think, is it on 36, is worded the same way? Just make sure we highlight it. And then, do we want to pull 35 till they re-review it, or do you want to?
No, because it's coming out of his capital fund, it's
Right,
not
so
coming out of
35 is
the rec
good.
fees.
So leave 35 in. Let's look at 36 together.
Resolution 36 authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for a municipal parks and recreation grant, and the financial administrator is here as well.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to clarify. So for the $32,400 grant, that's coming from Ray's Park and Rec budget?
That's for the comfort station, so that's coming from the private donation from Jay Petroselli that was allocated for the lower town square and adaptive playground.
So that one's good. The $70,000, that's not coming from Park and Rec fees, that's coming from the recreation budget for improvements, parks improvements.
These funds will be provided from the town's designated capital reserve for park improvements. That's what was stated in the letter that we received from Ray as a letter of support.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks for being prepared.
No problem. I just want to make sure we can get all these
Absolutely.
going because deadlines are the 9th, and that's why.
Thank you.
Did you pick up on this grant? Who found this grant?
Yeah, we're always looking for
You
things.
always
And
keep
I've been
going.
waiting for round 2 because we weren't awarded round 1, so I've been.
I think you brought this before earlier, Rick, a difference.
Yeah, we definitely need to clarify this because when I actually sent an email to Ray asking if he spoke with the Park and Rec Fee Committee on this about using their funds, and he said, no, but I will. So now it sounds like it's coming from a different.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Ray is here to help us out. Come on down, Ray.
The committee's been trying to do lights for a long time.
Project, and then I just have someone down here. Hello. How is everybody today? Good. What's on the agenda?
So we're talking about the grant for $630,000 with the $70,000 match.
Yeah.
The $70,000 match, is that coming from the Park and Rec?
Yeah, that's what I told Joe. We're going to propose to come out of the Park and Rec fees. I'll speak with the committee, but we've had this project on for a long time, and I'm sure they will have no issues doing this. It's great. It's great for the town.
It also gives you additional income.
But I have a question though, the $630,000 grant, do we know what the total cost of the project is? Because the last time I thought we got a quote of like $2 million.
No, that was actually for the fields up at
Veterans
Vets
Park.
Memorial.
That's the one I
This is
really
quoted at $700K, but that's outside of the area of opportunity.
No,
so-
I know. I spoke to Joe about that.
Okay, good, so we have a quote for $700,000?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I can get updated numbers from Ken, but this is the most recent quote, so.
And also for the record, that Statsy Park needs it. The lights are so outdated. They're from like the 80s, and we're having trouble with them. So this would be a great upgrade and great for Little League. So I think it's a wonderful project, and thank you, Joe and Liz, for looking it up.
Yeah, Ken has mentioned before that the light posts are like, one is like ready to fall down. Like they're
Yeah, I
in
think
that
they're
dire
still made
need
of wood. No, some of.
So Ray, you would have no problem then maybe just circulate this to the committee between now and just let them know and do that. The other question.
In fact, Bob, Liz and I talked yesterday about the letters of support for the grant, and we talked about getting a letter from the rec committee.
Okay,
Like
great.
for the application.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll circulate. I'll send an email out today. We had some change on the leadership, as you know, Bob. So with the chair and co-chair. So we're just going to go out to everybody. Yeah.
So Ray, just out of curiosity, because I know you've said this about Vets Park, which is there an income generator here aside from the teams that are using it now? Can we?
Yeah, especially with lights. We do lease out Statsky Park when Little League's done. So, and actually we can put more tournaments, and tournaments make a lot of money over there. So it would be, lights would
back softball and flag football.
Yeah, well, softball, the fences are too short.
So you're getting a twofer. That's good.
But yeah, it would be such a big addition down there. So thank you.
We just used a good amount of funding from Park and Recs for Bayberry Park in Wadingberg, which was a great project. How are we doing on funding? Does anybody?
They have $85,000 right now in the Park and Rec Committee funds right now, and since Stotsky Park is a flagship park, it qualifies to use those funds.
So
And we're expecting a lot more.
15 afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just gonna fix 35, right?
See that game last night?
Well, I think it's correct the way it is, because it is Park and Rec Committee fees.
So it's good. So we're not. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we.
Okay.
You want to jump to the second one?
Yeah, let's
while
stay
you're
right here at 36. Yeah, while we're here. She just read it, so we can just discuss it. Go ahead, your questions, Jeanette.
Well, I think this one's good. So this is a $324,000 grant with a $32,400 match. Which, yeah, the private match is coming out of Petrocelli's funds that we had dedicated $150,000 to the adaptive playground for Town Square, and this will go towards that. So we already have it.
And that fund is there, and it's separate. It's not used for something. It's there. Okay. So people that are watching always want to know, like, if we're using funds twice and we're not at one time. Great. Awesome sauce.
Thank you guys.
Thank everybody for coming in. That was fantastic.
Ray, can you copy when you send out to the rec committee? To me, yeah, but also copy the supervisor so we know to keep it in. And okay.
Okay, I'll do it today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ray.
Okay, resolution number 37 approves Chapter 255 special event application for Andrew McMorris Foundation, Andrew's Top Gun Run 5K.
Double check on this resolution, because I thought this is like a great cause. And I thought in the years past, we have waived the $175 application fee on it, since they paid, but I just want them to be able to keep every dollar they're doing. Andrew is a great kid, great family. They do a lot of great things, and I don't think we should be taking $175 from them.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll we'll make a note, we'll speak to the clerk's office and ask them to remove that provision if that's what the board is.
Everybody else good with that?
Well, I don't mean to be a naysayer, but I know funds are really tight, and we've had a problem in the past with waiving fees for all kinds of organizations. And I thought moving forward this year, we were going to try to make an effort to require everyone to pay. Now, I think we were looking at a scale of, if it is for an event such as this, maybe a lesser amount, but still require people to pay, because actually everybody, most of these events that we have, the 255, are for some type of community or special project for individuals. And I just think we need to start making individual groups and organizations pay something. So that's my input. I don't have a dollar amount or to say, flat out, we'll waive it this time or not. But I just want to start this year not letting everything get waivers, because then we're picking and choosing.
Yeah.
And then I have a problem with
I
that.
know we've looked at those fees. We're working on those for across the board, what it costs our PD to be places.
Yes.
And things like that. So yeah, it's definitely something we could look into. Joanne, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that Bob and I have had extensive conversations about the fees, and, there's a fine line of, who do you give the break to and who don't you? And I think that this deserves further conversation on that moving forward, and I'd like to get that on to, I don't know if that would be executive session or work session, probably executive session.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it would be Eric.
I think that something like this
Here he comes.
boy lost his life to a drunk driver, and they're advocates, in the community to save other lives and to protect us. Something like this never happens. There's a lot of volunteerism between local fire departments, other agencies, sheriff's department. They all come out, they do a great thing. Everybody volunteers their time and effort there. I just don't think it's necessary to collect it, but.
I absolutely agree with you, Ken. I just mean this in general, as a general conversation.
You're here to
I
advise us, whereas-
graduated high school with Andrew's mom. I've known her most of my life. They're a great family, and this is not targeted at them. This is a general.
That's my position as well. I just think that we can't just pick and choose. I think we need some structure and organization.
So where would that conversation be?
All right, so couple points. Right now, the special event application fees are set by resolution of the town board. I don't know offhand what those are. I don't have the fee schedule in front of me. Historically, for this event, I believe the town board has waived the application fee. There's still historically, we've charged a $100 site use fee just for use of the runway. This way, we aren't getting into a situation where we're gifting use of town property, which would not be permissible under general municipal law. With respect to additional conversations about where we go with the fees from here, I think that's something that should probably be referred to some sort of internal committee or something to discuss, and then you can request input from whatever advisory boards might be relevant to the issue, and then we would come up with something and bring it to an open work session to discuss.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I think that since we don't have new language of moving forward, that we should waive this fee, because that's what has been done in the past, until we're able to figure it out.
Yeah, the town board has the authority to do that, and typically for sort of not-for-profit or some of our special districts like volunteer fire districts, things like that, the town board has been inclined to waive those application fees. When you get into site fees, it's a different analysis that I want to make sure everyone understands there's a distinction.
there.
Yeah, no, and I think this is a great event. I'm all for it. The concern and Joanna and I have been working on this, is a lot, and I'm not singling this one out, but a lot of people require the showmobile. Most of that is done on the weekends. That is overtime from B&G. It's costing us a fortune. We've discussed even selling the showmobile, to get out of it. Because it's really, when you add the number of events, it's costing thousands and thousands of dollars to do these events using the showmobile. But we can.
The showmobile is a separate application, that's not part of this resolution in the process, I understand.
No, but it comes, and I'm not pointing the showmobile to this. I know it's used. We will, Joanne and I will continue.
I think, and
I'd
this
like to
is-
talk on that too then, Bob, because I think it's very important to discuss it, just so it's not arbitrary.
I think, I think Eric has a good idea. If we executive, then open work session is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you should get maybe a committee together with, one or two town board members, someone from the town clerk's office, maybe the fire marshal's office, PD, because they are the ones who typically review the applications.
And
So maybe
B&G.
they come up with, proposed fee schedule that could be considered by the town board, and then we bring it to an open work session.
I've asked a lot of the department heads to start pulling their analytics on that, so we can see exactly what things are costing us, so we can get that information to them. And I do agree, I think for this one, if the precedent has been set, as much as we want to create clear boundaries for people, I think the precedent's been set to waive this fee, so good catch, Councilman.
Well, and to Councilman Kern's point on the showmobile, some of the people who are organizing the special events, maybe they could be encouraged to find a sponsor who would take care of applying for the showmobile.
That's one of the things that we're talking about as well, so, thank you.
So we have 3 to remove the.
Yeah,
waiver fee?
absolutely. I agree with Councilman Rothwell. I mean, this is important, it's a great event, and
I do too. I don't want to make it seem like I don't care about this. I do. I just feel that it starts to get arbitrary, and I want to just have some set rules on where we're going to go with these fees in the future.
Yeah, we're
To help
working on
our
that.
taxpayers.
2026.
Joanne and I are working on that. We will work with the clerk, with B&G, with the chief, with the fire marshal, and come back with a report.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Ken, for catching that. Good job. All right.
Okay, last resolution pays the bills. And Supervisor, I don't know if you wanted to bring Chief Frost forward?
I do want to bring Chief Frost forward because I'm so excited about this matter.
Chief is going to pay the bills this month.
That's
This is
it. That is
fantastic.
it.
Wow.
So, I mean, we still want to bring in the guys from the Life Save on December 31st. I know that our board wants to do that, but tell us about what happened. And
Yesterday, in conjunction with the Suffolk County Police Department Arson Squad, we arrested the individual who was an ex-employee of Pazzo Pizza in Wading River. He was charged with arson thirds, a C felony, burglary thirds, a D felony, criminal miss second, a D felony, and petty larceny. This was an extensive. It occurred on November 18th. We got called at 1:57 a.m. Members of the Wading River Fire Department and other several adjoining fire departments assisted to put it out. Our fire marshal responded, and obviously there was signs of an intentionally set fire. So after that, our detective unit did an extensive investigation. This is what is needed these days from the district attorney. We worked with them as well. Search warrants for phones. Everything is electronic, and you really can't get away with anything. So we had search warrants on his house, phones, car, and we were able to, we had an extensive video search in areas west of here where he lives, and we got some more evidence off that. So it's a lot of man hours to put it together, but again, my detective supervisor, Sergeant Pat McDermott, is a well-versed individual, and he put it all together, and working with the Suffolk County Arson Squad, we were able to bring this gentleman to justice. So,
Chief, is the best story I read this morning, and the fact that they knew where the guy picked up the lighter fluid, right, where he parked his Jeep, and all the footage, the bicycle going back and forth and then unloading his bicycle back into his house is the best thing I read this morning.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, you know, that's not,
I saw that.
a lot of man hours into it, so.
So I do want to congratulate the Wading River Fire Department, always a proud father when my son Cameron was on the hose nozzle going in, and the Thompson family, Hunter, Catherine, Phil, they were like their first deal on scene. They knocked that fire down and ultimately protected the adjacent, bagel store, which should be reopening shortly, and, protected where it could have spread beyond that. And you have the two other commercialized buildings on either side, the taco place behind and the adjacent building as well. So they did a great quick stop. So great job, Wading River Fire Department.
Yeah, everybody. It was incredible. Thank you,
Thank
Chief.
you. Thank you, Pat McDermott. Excellent work.
Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our work session for today. And in a moment, I'll ask for a first and a second, and I'll approve. And then anybody that says nay, I know it's our favorite part.
I'm going to say no so I can say opposed, okay?
There you go.
You'll have somebody.
So we'll go into our executive session with personnel matters surrounding a leave of absence for an employee with STRIPLIN-TIO, and matters surrounding promotion of an employee with Frost. Litigation matters surrounding an update on litigation matters with Gugliotta and the Town of Riverhead with Councilor Howard. Contractual matters surrounding inter-municipal agreement between the Town of Riverhead and the Town of Brookhaven. HURLEY and DILLINGHAM, matters surrounding the license agreement between the Town of Riverhead and Long Island Skydive with Councilman Kern, and matters surrounding contractual agreement between the Town of Riverhead and Suffolk County with Chief Frost. So may I have a first and a second to close and go?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are not going to ask that next question and we're out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon.